Okay, so I've got two inequalities, and I'm wanting to graph them on the same graph. So let's look at the first inequality. 3x is greater than or equal to y. So that means we've got to be able to graph that. I'm sorry. Thank you. Okay. So 3x is going to be greater than or equal to y. Now, is that set in a way that I can graph that? Not exactly, is it? Because if we're going to graph, we still have to think about our solutions in terms of y equals mx plus b. Even though it's not going to be an equal, it's going to be an inequality symbol. We still need it in that form. So is this inequality in that form? Not really, right? But if I know that 3x is greater than or equal to y, what can I say about y? That y is what?
Less than or equal to 3x.
Less than or equal to 3x. Everybody okay with that? Yes or maybe? Now, can you graph that? You should be able to. All right, where am I going to start on my graph? At where? 0 at the origin. So put a point at your origin. Now, you might, if you're very comfortable with graphing, want to pick up one of your colored pencils. Okay? And go ahead and start that color right there at the origin. Okay, I'm using red because I can. Okay? Now, based on my slope, where am I going to put my next point? Up 3 to the right 1. Okay, 1, 2, 3 to the right 1. 1, 2, 3 to the right 1. To the right 1. 1. I could also go down and to the left. Everybody agree? 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. Oh, okay. Am I going to draw a... Yes, ma'am.
I dropped this in it, bro. Can I get that?
Go next door and do it, because technically we shouldn't put them in those kind of pencil sharpeners, but if the next door one breaks, I'm not as concerned about it. Okay. But that's fun. Okay. Am I going to draw a solid line or a dashed line? Solid. All right, so let's draw our solid line. How do I know that I'm going to draw solid? It's or equal to. All right, now, how do I decide how to shade? How do I decide how to shade?
It depends on which side the solutions are on.
Okay, but how do I determine which side that is?
Putting in a point and equal.
All right, I have to pick a point. What's the key, though? I have to pick a point what?
That's not.
That's not on the line. Because I already know that all the points on the line are going to work. Because it's a solid line. So all these points already work. I got to pick one that's not on the line. Now, which is our easiest point to pick usually? 0, 0. But what's wrong with picking 0, 0 this time? It's on the line. So I got to pick another point. Which is my next easiest one? 1, 1. Okay? So if I pick the point 1, 1, and I'm going to substitute it into my equation, or my inequality. You ready? That's going to tell me 1 is less than or equal to 3 times 1. Which means 1 is going to be less than or equal to 3. Does that work? Is 1 less than or equal to 3? Yes. So if that point works, I need to shade where that point is. Well, where is 1, 1? 1, 1's right there. Everybody agree with that? So I need to shade this entire side over here. Same color. Now don't shade it too much. You still need to be able to see your lines. Okay, because we still have to graph one more point. So you might want to just do it real lightly. Okay. But this is the side that works for this inequality. Everybody agree? All right, find your next color. Well, you might want to find a pencil first because we got to do a little something. All right, so then we look at our second inequality. Is it ready to graph? No. Can I get it ready to graph? Yep. So how am I going to get that inequality ready to graph? What am I going to have to do for it? I'm going to have to subtract x from both sides. Those are going to cancel out. I'm going to have 2y is less than or equal to a negative x plus 8. Does everybody agree with that? Then I have to go through and divide by 2. Now, do I have to change my sign? Or do I have to flip my inequality? No. When do I flip my inequality? When I divide or multiply by a negative. All right, so those are going to go. Y is now going to be less than or equal to a negative x over 2 plus 4. Do we all agree with that? Yes or maybe? Okay. So, how am I going to graph this? Where am I going to start? 4. Am I going to open or close? Is it going to be solid or dashed? Solid, so I can do this. Okay, I'm going to move down 1 into the right 2. Down 1 into the right 2. See why it's important that you still be able to see your lines? Down 1 into the right 2. Down 1 into the right 2. Or up into the left. Everybody agree with that? Now when I draw this line, is it going to be solid or dashed? Solid. Is it possible to have one line that's solid and one line that's dashed? Yeah. Yep. Now, what do I have to do to this particular line? I still have to also what? I still need to pick a point. So what point are we going to pick? This time we can pick 0, 0, right? Because 0, 0 is not on that line. Everybody okay with that? All right, so if I'm going to do this, I'm going to have 0 is less than or equal. Well, what's 0 divided by 2? 0. And then 0 plus 4 is going to be what? 4. Does that work? Yes, that works. So if it works, I'm going to shade on the side where 0, 0 is located. Yes.
Did you have to use the very beginning equation?
No. Okay. Could I have used the same point I used here? Yes, because it's not on the line. Okay. So 0, 0 is the point that I'm picking. So I'm going to shade everything this way. And if you don't, here's a helpful hint. You ready? If you don't have different colors, shade different ways. Okay, so like see how here I went up and down? So if I was just using a pencil and didn't have different colors, I want to go the opposite way. So I might want to go like this so that I can see where they crisscross. Does that make sense? Yes, no, maybe? Okay. All right. So what I'm really looking for is the region that works for both. Which means I'm looking for where my two shaded regions cross. Where do my two shaded regions cross? all right here. Does everybody agree with that?
Which is
So
mainly-
if I took out all of this, I wouldn't affect any of the blue, right? And if I took out all of this, I wouldn't affect any of the red. Would you agree? So this area right here is my solution region because that's where they both cross. Does that make sense? So any ordered pair within this region, including this part of the line and that part of the line. Okay? So anything within this these are called boundary lines. Okay? So anything within this region is going to be a solution to these two inequalities. Does that make sense? So if I could pick the point 0, 0, and because it's on this part of the line, and because it's below the blue line, it's going to work. Does that make sense? I could pick this point right here, which is something. But that point right there would work because it's within my region. Does that make sense? Now, everybody okay? Here's what's going to happen though when you do my math lab. In my math lab, you can't do this region and then do this region and then look to see where they cross. In my math lab, all you can shade in is the region where they cross. So that means you're going to have to do this part of it on your own paper, see where the section and the region is, and then on my math lab, once you graph them, you're only going to drop the bucket into that section. Does that make sense? You can't do and see where it crosses over. The seeing where it crosses over has to happen on your own paper. Everybody okay with that? And even if you're not, that's just the way it's going to have to work. Do you see how the two colors are helpful? Because that lets you see where they overcross. Okay? Everybody okay with that? Yes, no, maybe. All right, perfect. So,